Hello, my name is Kanaya, and today I'm going to talk about an art piece that I did a while back. 3 things I learned about painting a speed paint analysis. Well, who the fuck am I to be talking about this? I'm a nobody with no scholarly backing of any drawing or painting skills. However, since I was like 12, I've been fully obsessed with the fuckery of putting paint on a canvas and it looking like it's not even real life, but like it is alive. Instead of trying to learn through tutorials and classes and whatnot, with this painting in particular, I just tried to brute force it. And what did I brute force? Well, so 3 things I learned while drawing this particular painting, which I like to call Little Dude, is composition, color palette, and reflective lighting. So I'll start with composition. I tried to keep the rule of 3s in mind when sketching out ideas. Although looking at it now, I like the proportions. I had decided that I wanted the dragon to be smaller and the berry bigger, to make the little dude as little as he possibly could be. I tried to accentuate the thirds with the bushes in the background, but they didn't exactly meet measurements. Looking back, I like the composition of the version, this one, much better because the size of the dragon and the line of the finger and the little dude's mouth are like much clearer. Comparing them by side, the size of the berry looks silly with the final picture, and while I like the vibrancy of the green in the background, I think it ultimately takes away from the gold and the red in the picture. Which leads me to my next struggle, the color palette. I don't know what color is, and my fear of understanding it often leads me to pick pastels that don't necessarily fit the tone I'm trying to go for. This is evident in my initial choice of pastel blues, and for the background it was like basically like a white little like circle, which took away from the gold of the dragon, and it just kind of washed it out and made it accentuated the browns and kind of made it blend into the finger. I tried to fix this by making the finger redder later and trying to make the yellow pop out more, but in the end, changing the background helped a lot with making the dragon pop. And so I changed the background a few times, and I eventually realized that I like the vibrant green of the cherry stem, so I tried to put that in the background as well, and I found that I like the vibrancy of the green, so I kept it. I leaned more into the vibrant colors while painting this little dude, and in doing so, I find that I'm more comfortable in actually using vibrant colors instead of avoiding them and being scared of them like, a Victorian child scared of happiness and food and, and abundance. Since learning how to use vibrant colors, I realized that I do like a previous version of this better, because the background doesn't take is a little bit more dull, which might not be as happy, or it might not give me the dopamine hit that I like about the final picture, but it does make the red and the yellow pop in the foreground more. Still, I do like the end piece because it's got a very vibrant tone to it. I keep using the word vibrant, but you know what? It keeps working, so I'm just gonna keep using it. Reflective lighting, which is the thing that makes me crazy. It adds so much to paintings, and it makes them feel so alive. I attempted this with the blue in the eyes and tried to make them reflect over the dragon, but it didn't really work out. I found that the blue in the eyes made the whole piece more confusing with the color palette. As of right now, there's the dark purple blue, and then there's the bright red and the orangey red that I'm still kind of iffy on, and then there's the bright green and yellow, so there's red, blue, and green. So with adding that like really bright blue, I feel like it kind of tips the scales a little bit too confusing, more so than it already is. So I removed it. I tried to reflect the finger onto the little dude's claws, and I removed it, which is something that I am now reflecting that I would like to put back. Oh, one thing I am proud of, however, is the little dude's tail. That right there. The left twist of the tail. The change from gold to a shadowed shift of the finger color, then the green color. Is it done in a sensible way? No. However, it looks like something a real artist would actually paint, and I have secretly not stopped feeling proud of it. And some notes that I have before getting into the really big section of the reflection bit is that the right back foot doesn't have a shadow on the finger, and I'd like to see some more reflection on the finger of the dragon's lower body, and the green on the dragon's head and arm. And the berry is also supposed to be like the most fun part, where the green stem and the bushes reflect off of the berry, where the sky reflects off of the berry, where the dragon reflects off the berry. The berry is supposed to be the one that's the most colorful of all, and what did I do? I left it as this weird, and it's got this dark line too that doesn't really make sense, and it's just, I gotta fix it eventually. Getting to the elephant in the room, the gold of the dragon. So first, I attempted to use reference photos, but using reference photos without understanding how light works is like a hyperactive child trying to pet a cat. It's not gonna work out for them. And that's why I came back to the drawing every few months and tried again, and again, and again, and again. I didn't actually study or practice sliding in like the off months that I wasn't drawing it, which is why I struggled so much. I expected my lollygagging and drawing other things like fan art to magically give me the skills to actually be able to draw reflections. And when that didn't work, I eventually just slapped a border on it and called it a day. I'd found other interests, and real life took a turn on the reins, so little dude remains as he is. All in all, the experience was a huge step forward for me, and I appreciate learning that you can't run away from preparation and studying, ever, even in silly art. Maybe one day I'll try again, but for now, I'm happy with how he is.